The Zephyrian salvage vessel. Prophet's Edge drifted through the debris field with practiced precision, its scanning arrays sweeping across the remnants of what had once been a thriving star system. Captain Vextal clicked his mandibles in satisfaction as the readings flooded his neural interface. Metal alloys, rare elements, and most importantly, technology from a species that had clearly achieved interstellar flight before their apparent extinction. Fascinating, murmured Chief Science Officer Kieran, her crystalline eyes reflecting the scattered light from twisted metal fragments. The radioactive signatures suggest this civilization destroyed itself approximately 200 rotations ago. Classic pattern. They achieved fusion weapons before wisdom. The debris told a story written in scorched hull plating and shattered orbital stations. Whoever these beings had been, they had built impressive ships, sprawling space habitats, and what appeared to be a robust interplanetary infrastructure. All of it now reduced to cosmic scrap metal. Begin salvage operations, Vextal commanded. Priority on intact computer cores and weapon systems. The hegemony pays premium rates. For extinct species technology, the salvage drones launched from the Prophet's Edge, their mechanical arms extending toward the largest piece of wreckage. A massive vessel that had somehow maintained its basic structure despite obvious battle damage. Scorch marks and hull breaches decorated its surface like a constellation of violence. As the first drone's cutting beam activated, something unexpected happened. The wreckage moved. Not the gentle drift of objects in vacuum, but a purposeful rotation that brought what appeared to be weapon ports to bear on the salvage drone. Then, impossibly, those weapons fired. The drone vanished in a brief flash of coherent energy. What in the void's name? Vextal began, but his words were cut off as more pieces of debris began to shift and orient themselves toward his ship. Chunks of metal that had appeared dead for centuries suddenly blazed with internal power, weapon systems coming online with mechanical precision. Captain! Kieran's voice cracked with disbelief. I'm detecting massive power surges throughout the debris field. These aren't just wrecks, they're still functional. The communications array crackled to life, filled with transmissions in an alien language. But the Zephyrian universal translator worked quickly, parsing the unfamiliar phonemes into meaning. Unknown vessels, you are in violation of Soul Defense Perimeter. Withdraw immediately or face defensive action. Soul Defense Perimeter? Vextal's four eyes widened. But this system is dead. We detected no life signs. More voices joined the first, overlapping in a chorus of warnings. Terran Defense Network online. Identifying hostile salvage operations. This is TDF Indomitable. We may be broken, but we're not beaten. Yorktown here, ready to give these scavengers a taste of human hospitality. The largest piece of wreckage, the vessel they had been attempting to salvage, suddenly blazed with running lights. Its hull, scarred by centuries-old battle damage, nonetheless projected a holographic display showing its name, TDF Defiance. A new voice carrying the authority of command cut through the chatter. This is Admiral Chen of the Terran Defense Force. I don't know how long we've been out here, or what happened to Earth, but I'll be damned if I let alien vultures pick. Our bones clean. Vextal frantically signaled his crew. Evasive maneuvers, all power to shields. But the human ships moved with a coordination that defied their apparent state of destruction. Pieces of wreckage that had seemed randomly scattered revealed themselves as a carefully planned formation. Damaged vessels that should have been dead. Husks suddenly displayed tactical awareness that made Vextal's military training scream warnings. How are they still operational? Kieran demanded, her tentacles dancing over her console. The energy readings are impossible. Some of these ships have been severed in half. The answer came from Admiral Chen herself. We built these ships to last, alien. And more importantly, we built them to fight. Emergency protocols don't just shut down when the ship gets hurt. They get creative. The Defiance, despite missing its entire aft section, somehow managed to fire a spread of missiles that had been cobbled together from spare parts and salvaged materials. Other vessels, some reduced to little more than armored compartments with engines, moved to flank the Zephyrian salvage ship. "This is madness," Vextal whispered. "They're operating on emergency power, backup systems, components that shouldn't even be functional." But the humans had learned over their brief but violent stellar career that survival often meant making impossible things work through sheer bloody-minded determination. Ships' AIs, cut off from their primary systems, had spent 2 centuries learning to operate damaged vessels like broken-down vehicles held together with ingenuity and spite. A communication channel opened directly to the Prophet's Edge. Admiral Chen's voice carried the weight of someone who had lost everything except the will to fight. "You came here thinking you'd found easy pickings from a dead civilization. Let me educate you about humanity's greatest export. We don't stay dead when someone needs killing." The human ships opened fire in unison, not the overwhelming barrage of a healthy fleet, but the precise economical shooting of veterans who couldn't afford to waste a single shot. Each beam and missile was carefully aimed, designed not to destroy but to cripple and capture. "They're trying to disable us," Kieran reported. "They want prisoners." Vextal made a decision that would haunt Zephyrian strategic planning for generations. Full retreat. Signal the hegemony. Mark this system as off-limits. As the Prophet's Edge limped away from the debris field, its hull scored by precise human. Weapons fire, Admiral Chen's final transmission followed them into hyperspace. "Tell your friends, Earth's children don't rest easy, and we sure as hell don't forget." In the weeks that followed, word spread through the galactic salvage community. The Sol system was to be avoided at all costs. The wreckage there didn't just bite back, it planned, adapted, and remembered. And somewhere in the debris field, the scattered remnants of humanity's last fleet continued their eternal patrol, waiting for the next fool who mistook damage for defeat. They had lost their world, their civilization, their very species, but they had never lost the one thing that made them human, the absolute refusal to give up.